Hi, thank you for tuning in to The Mighty Dragon. Today I'm talking with producer Alex Mendoza about his latest project, COVID-19 Sins and Virtues. Hello, Alex. Great to have you here today.
Hello to you and your audience, everybody. Thank you
And
for inviting me. Excited to talk with you.
thank you. We've got great backgrounds, haven't we, for our Zoom call today? So we're here to talk about COVID-19 Sins and Virtues. Can you tell me what it's all about?
Well, we could classify it very easy, but very difficult to box. It's a
Yes,
14 episode feature length anthology film,
right.
all film while in isolation. So basically that's what it is 14 different stories made by 14 different creative teams, all following the same rules that were no high-end film cameras. We needed to level the field. Not everybody had a
Yes,
Red or an Alexa or Canon, Nikon. Anything with removable lenses was not allowed. So it was iPhones, laptops, security cameras, whatever they could get, but high-end film camera. That was the first challenge. The next challenge it was that it had to be based as a MacGuffin. MacGuffin, if you're anyone in your audience doesn't know, is an element in a story that puts the story together, but is not relevant to the story. That gives an excuse to the story.
right.
So I didn't want to make a COVID-19 documentary. No, I wanted to see what was inside. But before I tell you how I got to the 7 and 7, let me give you the context of how the project was born. Extremely, absolutely no intention to be an artist or no intention to impress anyone. Okay?
Yeah.
It was a pure work of friends trying to put together and keep busy. Okay? I was going nuts on March of last year, like the world.
Yeah.
Yeah? Ill of many, consolation of fools, used to say my mom. This time I answered to her, Mama, the ill of everyone is consolation to everyone. So going nuts, truly nuts. Uh, so much that my daughter suggested that I go to therapy. I went. And the therapist asked me one question that probably that was the origin of all the things. Is she asked me, what is what you want uh, to do that you have never been able to do because of lack of time to produce a film?
Right.
To give you a little bit of context in there. Came from Mexico in 82 to study film in LA. I went to
Okay.
Colombia. Then I was supposed to go back to Mexico to make commercials. That was my goal. Okay. Then, but my wife and I decided that we should stay because Mexico had just gone through the earthquake of 85, the
Right.
huge.
Yeah.
So we decided that we could stay. My wife is from New York. So I went to study to be a producer. Once I came out of film school in 85, I tried to produce two films, one after the other. I couldn't produce them. And I got them all to completion bond, and one of them even has a small distribution deal. Couldn't find the money. So I say, I don't know how to get these things together. So I better get into one of the studios and learn. So the opportunity came in that I went to start as the assistant of the manager of the Hispanic division of Bestron. I don't know if you know who Bestron is, but they invented home video.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay, they
Yeah.
invented home video. So when they, and I came in, it was what, 6 weeks? Yeah, something like 6 weeks after the release of Dirty Dancing, the
Right.
top, the top hit of Western. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we were in a high. We were in a high. This is a huge independent company, okay, that is already producing. Okay, so what a better place to stay. But instead of leaning myself into the production side of the company, I leaned myself into the distribution side because that's where I started being successful.
Okay.
They started giving me money, positions, etc., etc., etc. And 10 years into the career, I say, Alex, forget it. You will never be a producer. That's a dream that the bucket list cannot fill because.
Is that something you were telling yourself?
Yes.
Just, right.
Yes, I quit on my dream of being a producer.
It's amazing what paths we go down, isn't it?
Yeah. So then I'm the best example for anyone that you shouldn't quit because even
Yeah.
when you quit, you make it. The To make it shorter from there, stay in distribution for 30 years, then put my own consulting firm because I was burned out by corporate and try to advise Latinos in the industry, producers and directors and all that in things of distribution. Nobody had money. One deal I did, I put a company to service uh, live events of the entertainment industry with graphic design and large format printing, all because I love the parties of the industry. Okay? So I went in and started building that company and have permitted me to stay and still help all my friends, okay, for nothing because nobody has money to pay me for that advice. So what little advice I can give, I give it for free because I have something to sustain me. Boom! Here comes March 7th of last year in a convention in San Diego that I accompanied my wife in the dinner, the farewell dinner of her group of friends. The phone ping, ping. I look at it. Oh, fuck. Guys, have you heard of the virus? Oh, yeah. Nobody, Trump says nothing. Guys, everybody to your home immediately and lock your doors. Italy have just closed Milan and Venice.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
if they close their industrial center and the most iconic tourist destination in the world, this
Mm.
is serious.
Yeah.
So my wife and I went into lockdown on March 8th. So going nuts. What you want to do? Be a producer. Why you don't do it? I laugh. What else I can do but laugh? If it's impossible to make, quite close to impossible to make a film, an independent film, okay, in normal circumstances, with normal resources, at this moment, forget it. I laugh on my way home, but leave it like that. 2 weeks, and this is the official start of the idea. I produce a showcase associated with the American Cinematheque, in which I present with the American Cinematheque in the Egyptian theater that is the epicenter of Hollywood, that is the epicenter of the industry, including on the other side. That's where it was born, as we know it now. I presented one Latino film in a periodical way. At the beginning, it was once a month and then started being twice a month. And now it's on hiatus because the Egyptian is closed. And I don't know what the future will be of it because now it's owned by Netflix. The American Cinematheque still manage it, and it was a hell of a good deal for everyone. Everybody's very happy on that. But I say, how the after party of COVID-19 is going to look like in the
Yeah.
courtyard of the Egyptian.
Mm.
That will be fun. Make it official, one of the official, this is the end. I like it. Oh, shoot. Now I need a film. I cannot have an after party without a film. Okay? So how I'm going to produce a film in a year. Never. Forget it. I mean, especially in these circumstances. Should I open call and see what there is that could be shown? But I say, no, that's going to put me to watch a lot of films that I don't want to watch. So I say, no, that's not a good idea now. Well, what you want to tell? You don't want to tell a COVID-19 thing. You want to see what is inside. I'm talking to myself. What is inside of the homes? What is inside of the families? How they going through? What they going through? All the good, all the bad, because there must be a lot of bad and there must be a lot of good. Yeah, all their hopes, all their fears, all their sins, all their virtues. Ding! When I counted 7 and 7, that allowed me to break down the burden of writing, developing, producing, and post-producing, okay, between 14 teams and still get a feature length.
Yeah.
So, in a year so improbable, the impossible happened, as Vince Scully said. Okay?
Amazing. What was it like coordinating so many different filmmakers? Was that a challenge in itself, or was it quite seamless?
Uh, if you look at the Q&A of the premiere, we did a pre-recorded Q&A in which, with 3 interviewers, they interviewed the 14 teams. And one consistent or benefit they got, first of all, gave purpose to everyone.
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on the TV and we were
Yeah.
busy trying to create. Okay, so that was a relief, extreme relief for all the families. But because it was self-contained, only with assets at hand at the moment of lockdown. Okay, I have a 9-year-old camera operator in the credit room, so the families had something to do.
Right.
That one, when I was alone, had something to do. Okay, so I called Jennifer Burns and Mauricio Mendoza, friends of mine for many years, producers. I pitched the idea to them. She says that I got her at hello. And we say, okay, start calling your friends. I called my friends. Let's see how many we can put together. It's going to take us 2-3 weeks. Maybe yes or no enough. You know enough. And we know enough. Okay. 2 days. In 2 days, we were full.
Amazing.
And I have 2 more in wait list. Okay, in waiting list, I had 2 more. And I still have, till today, people calling me saying, why you didn't call me first?
Oh wow. It's such a great idea because it's kind of captured a time that none of us thought really would ever live through anything like this. And how has it made you feel at the end of putting it all together? Do you feel like as a different person yourself?
Yeah, my obituary today is going to say, well, not today, from now on, whenever
Not
happens,
after this interview,
whenever it
please.
happens, my obituary will say, I'm a producer of a feature length in Hollywood, the best allocate I can never have. After many years of having the dream, even abandon it, serendipity happened. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have been able to be a producer if it was not because all my friends were.
And do you think that putting it together at the start was the best part of the process for you? Or is the end result the best part? Or, what's
For
the
the
best?
3 of us, for the lead team, that we put together the 14 teams, and my co-producers, they did 1 episode. They didn't want to miss the fun, so they did 1 episode. I didn't. I just overseen that. So I've always wondered why studio executives made that much money and why they do, and why they like it too much, because it's too much pressure. They send me notes. They send me the screenplays. 3 weeks you have for doing the screenplay of each one of the randomly pulled sin or virtue, and 3 weeks later you have to deliver your screenplay for notes. So I get notes. Some of the maximum was a 3 draft until we got it to
3 drafts.
yeah in three
Oh,
drafts.
right. Okay.
We
Wow.
didn't have time. Our
Yeah.
project was to finish principal photography while in lockdown. It will make it that much more significant if we can say that we wrote it, developed it, and produced it while in
Mm.
lockdown.
Yeah.
Okay, so we went for it. We went saying, okay, let's do it. Let's put our pressure on that. So it was a weekly meeting with all the teams, a lot of cooperation between them. Who knows sound mixing? I know. Okay, the resourcefulness. Maybe that's the best thing I get from it. The pride, and I have to say my pride of having inspired the following. Not my solutions, their solutions. Okay. We have an episode in which the main actress is in LA, the main actor is in Texas, and the director is in Burbank, all filming simultaneously in iPhones, directing via Zoom. Now, another one. Well, there's many. All of them gave me incredible solutions. But there's one that, boy, impressed me a lot. Let me see if I can set it up succinctly. This is a story of one character in the whole episode. One character played by 2 different actors, each one in different country. Okay, with one set in one of the countries. The POV of the actor in LA is the close-up. Sorry, the close-up of the actor is the actor in LA. Of the character, the close-up of the character is the actor in LA.
Yeah.
The POV of the character and his body is in Mexico.
Ah, it's really cool. That's super
Wow!
cool. I love it.
Because you only
Wish
see
I'd written
him,
that.
you only see him in the phone.
Yeah.
When he's talking to himself, every single movement was matched. I'm telling you, blink of eyes was matched.
That's incredible. It sounds like you got it nailed. You got it
He
completely
gave them,
nailed.
he gave them the freedom to do whatever they can, whatever
Yeah.
they wanted, because there was no way of doing it wrong.
Yeah.
So they freed themselves, and it was so beautiful. There's people doing CGI. There's people doing stunts. There's people doing special effects on site.
Yeah.
It was incredible, and the theme of all of them is gave them purpose, okay, gave them hope, and it launched. They understood that they didn't need to stay idle, even when they were finished with us.
Mm.
Once principal photography is done, then it's only the work of 4 or 5 people the rest of months. So when they were done, some of them started a complete series of shorts. Okay, what's the name? Because it's funny. It's Always Sunny on Quarantine.
I wish it was in the UK.
Something like that. They had this great idea. It's lovely. Then there's an actress that started her own projects. Each one of the teams had a professional with many years in the industry. Okay, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them had 3. The ability of them to learn so quick, because there's producers that have never touched a camera. They don't know how to frame. They needed to be taught how to frame.
Right.
There's directors that have never directed. I had to serve as a family counselor and marriage counselor for more than one. Because could you imagine
Oh my
two
gosh.
creative people that never have worked together, or if they have, is not doing everything. Okay. Uh, there was some fireworks on them, and they recognize it. And they recognize it and they laugh at it. And I laugh with them because it's true in the tension, in the and that having to be so creative to beat the bicho. The bicho I
Yeah.
call the virus.
I think it just sounds such a fascinating project to work on. Where do you go from here, from Sins and Virtues? What's next for
I'm
you
not gonna
now?
start. I'm not gonna start a career as a producer again. If it happens
Yeah.
by luck, continues serendipity, well, I may take the opportunity again. But not much.
Yes.
Okay. I don't like work or projects that are gonna require too much of my thinking or mind or attention or that. So my next project, the one I'm choosing now, based on my business with the entertainment industry that now is dead, and it has
Yeah.
been since January of 2020. I have invoiced $60. The industry is dead. My business is dead. We were the first ones to close. We will be the last ones to open because our event, the minimum is 400 people.
Mm.
So now, with the help of three companies partner with me, being advised by six different companies or individuals, okay, we are designing a system, because also includes the venue, but how to manage the venue, for making an after party for 400 people in COVID time, following the regulations of restaurants, following the regulations of film production,
Hmm.
following the regulations of theme parks. One of my advisors is the, I think they call it, floor manager of California Adventure and Downtown Disney. Someone who's giving me tips. They invented crowd control. They
Yeah.
invented crowd control. So we're getting very good advice on how to manage all this, and we think we have raised the interest of one prospective client and big client. So we are advancing on that. I don't like things that are difficult. I like things
Yeah.
that
Fair
are easy.
enough. Okay. I'm afraid we've run out of time. And it
Invite me
feels
again.
it feels like we've only just started the conversation.
Don't feel bad.
Please,
We have
please
had.
come back, Mr. Mendoza. Please come back. It's honestly been delightful to speak to you today. I've learned so much from you as well as to the whole process of how you put this together. So that's wonderful. Thank you so much for your time
Thank you
today.
very much. You will find a new link to go because the fundraising for the Actors Fund will have been done. So the
Okay,
25th, we do the wide release of it.
no problem.
In Vimeo on demand, COVID-19, Sins and Virtues.
Yeah, no problem. We got it. Speak to you soon. Bye, Alex.
Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you to Alex Mendoza for his time and see you soon on The Mighty Dragon.